My name is Lisa, and I'm an internal support coordinator with WEX FSM, and I wanted to welcome you all to today's session of Solution Studio. Today, we're working on growing your business using financing. So let's get started. Over to my test site. And once again, this is a test site. Not everything in it is functional, so I'll do my best to show you how everything works in the system. And today, we wanted to start out basically by looking at when you go to offer financing, financing has a contractor fee to it when you use it through our system. Signing up for most of the lenders does not cost you anything, but when you do an application, your customer does an application, there is a contractor fee associated with that. And when they fund you, they will normally take that amount out in the funding. So let's think about how we want to account for that because you're in business to make money. And when you use financing, you want to be able to only offer loans that you're comfortable with. So let's take a look at under reporting. There's an option to go to the dashboard. And this is kind of helpful. This feature is kind of underrated. It gives you some good information about your business. So if I came in and chose this year, I could go back in and see my invoice highlights, that type of thing, to see how much money I'm invoicing, how many payments I'm taking, anything that's uncollected in the average ticket. Always when you use the dashboard, make sure you look at these three dots and hit the module description in each one of these little modules because it will tell you what it's pulling. And so sometimes if something looks off, like the total invoice total, if the system sees an invoice in open draft, it doesn't think you're done with it yet. So it may not be pulling all of the information because this section doesn't pull anything that's still in open draft or voided. So if you see a discrepancy there with another report, that would be why, and you would go back and make those invoices presented or closed if they were paid. Okay, so one of the things that I like to look at is the payment mix, especially when you're thinking about financing, because as I said before, there is a fee associated with it. And you want to see, okay, how do I account for that fee? So I can look at my payment mix and see, okay, can I apply this amount across everything by just raising everything a little bit so there's no real large amount of increase that prices me out of the market? Or maybe I can estimate it with the amount included. And then if the person decides that they don't want to use financing, give them a percentage or an amount of a cash rebate. So you can decrease the amount. It's always harder to go up in the conversation than it is to go down. But if you build it into your price, your financing into your price for your install or your large repair, then you can always come down and be a hero. Going back up is another conversation altogether, which I really didn't like having. So you can look at your payment mix and you can see that the checks out of the whole pie, your checks are 74,000 in my test account. My credit card fees are 12,000 and cash is 64,000. So more than half of my payments that are coming in do not have like a fee associated with them, right? It's cash doesn't have anything with it. You take it to the bank, you don't pay anything. Credit card has a little bit. So these two would be making up. So you would figure out the percentage of these because like if checks I'm taking to the bank, I'm not getting a fee on them. If I am processing, I am getting a fee. I will have to take that into account. But more than half, if I'm not taking these to the account, does not have a fee to it, only this small slice of the pie. So I could say, okay, I'm going to raise my prices overall to account for any financing fee. And then that way, when I do my pricing, I will be still able to be competitive in the market. Or I can go ahead, like I said before, and you can mark up your installs by that certain percentage to make sure that you're accounting for that contractor fee. and then offer a cash rebate if they decide not to. So this is just a little payment mix that can help you get more information about how your business is doing, where your money's coming from, and then that helps you fix your pricing correctly, so to reflect that. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to look at was under subscriptions. So if we go into settings and then go down to subscriptions, we're going to go to payment options. And this is where you sign up for any of our financing partners. And there is a process. And you can come in here and you can sign up for Synchrony. You can sign up for GoodLeap. If you have an account for Synchrony already or in a GoodLeap account, you can bring that account into our system or you can create a new one if you don't have it. Green Sky, you would need to sign up in our system, and Service Finance, sign up in our system, and Wells Fargo. So we have different vendors in here. So you have options. And once you sign up for those vendors, up under payment options, financing, you're going to see manage loan options. And my fingers crossed that this loads because we have Synchrony in here and it is a test account, so it's not working very well. So I may have to pull up the other screenshot that I have for you. So once you choose your vendor for your financing and you get set up, you need to go in and choose what loans you want to offer. And it's not going to load. So let me see if I can get that other screenshot up here for you. Here we go. It's kind of small. Let me see if I can make it a little bit larger for you. And it's from our financing article. So you can go in and take a peek at this. No, it's not going to do it. It's going to make it too big outside of my thing. Okay. Hello, you don't want to do that. Okay, so it enlarged it a little bit. So once you choose your loan options, you can choose any loan by clicking this box to offer the loan. If you do not click the second box to offer it to self-service, the customer is not going to be able to fill this out on their own. You're going to have to be there with them. And sometimes techs and owners don't like to have that conversation with them where they're giving you their personal information and the customer maybe is uncomfortable as well. So you can always click this second box to offer this to self-service so they can fill this out on their own. So if you add one of these applications, these loan types to a proposal, they can click on that link and apply themselves if it's offered to self-service. Okay. So you may want to choose 2 or 3 loans so that your people are familiar with those loans and they can kind of go over it, like, the 12 months, no interest, that type of thing. But if you offer too many, then techs tend to get a little bit confused because let's face it, they're there to fix things. And they are not financing experts. So if you can keep it to a certain few, maybe a short term, a long term, and one for somebody that might have not as good credit, to have several different options for them. But this last line is this last column is the one that you need to pay attention to because remember I said every loan has a dealer fee associated to it, a contractor fee associated to it. And this is the percentage. Okay. So there's a big difference between, let's say, I had a job that was $8,350 at 4%, that would be $334. But the same job at 13.75% is $1,148.12. So it's a huge difference to your bottom line, and you want to make sure that you're pricing accordingly. So choose loans that you're comfortable with and build that into your pricing or overall as far as your company goes so that you're making sure that you are actually making money. So now some of these are down as low as 1.25, and this is just in our article. What you get in your loan options depends on what partner you're signing up for, and those will come in. So we've got 4%, we've got all the way up to 13.75%. Okay, so make sure that you're comfortable when you set these up with this amount and choose those in your system. And once you choose those in your system, they will be available to show up on your job form. See, it's still not loading. So we'll get rid of that one. Okay, so I'm going to go to a job that I had created for my guy, Jack Dawson, and I created 3 proposals. And on each proposal, I put in a recommendation for a financing for this. So it comes up for, this is 8,955.38, and it is fixed monthly payments for 132 months, and that comes up to 111.94. So most people, I'm using air quotations, most people are going to be shopping by monthly payment because a lot of people don't have $8,900 to stroke a check for. So when you have this and you're offering this to your customer, you may decide to use the good, better, best option, or some people call it something different when they're doing a proposal comparison. So if you do a proposal comparison in our system, you can do up to 8, but I did 3, and each one of them has financing offered onto it. So I'll pull up my proposal comparison. And this allows your customer to shop by price. And in the build view, it's not that pretty. And that's exactly what it is. It's a build view. It's where you can go in and do things. So when you add your proposals, if they're in the wrong spot, you can move them back and forth. Some people like to see the highest amount first, and some people like to see the lowest amount first. It's just all in how you do business, and you can name them in here anything that you want by clicking on it. Pretty much anything in the system, if it's red, you can click on it and it does something, and these little arrows move it back and forth. But when you go to present this, if you can set these up so that the products, the recommendations, the manufacturer warranties all line up, then when you go to present this to your customer, it's a professional proposal, and they can look at good, better, best. They can see the price, and then they can compare by that monthly payment. Okay, so if you're looking at this, so $20 more a month, if I'm doing my math without taking my shoes off, will drive your revenue up almost $2,000. So being able to use the financing to get them to maybe purchase a higher end system. And let's face it, when you have, especially in HVAC, the higher the SEER, the lower their electric bill is going to be. So that can be your selling point to move them into a higher sale. And you're still giving them quality labor, you're still giving them quality equipment, but you're driving your revenue by being able to price these out as a monthly payment. Okay. And everything else that you lined up will be over across here. And again, they will sit down here on the bottom. They can apply from here. They can apply from the individual proposal if you only do one proposal. So don't worry, it doesn't have to be on a proposal comparison. They can do it from each individual one. So if you want to do that, but if you are doing only one proposal, you may be leaving money on the table. So just kind of put that thought in there in case you decide that you want to start using the proposal comparisons, because they are in the system. They are part of your subscription that you're paying for. So you might as well help them to drive revenue. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my build mode. Okay. So now also what you can do is for proposal comparisons and for proposals, you can mark them as favorites so that you can use these over and over again. So when you would go to a new customer, you would just go into the job, and I'm going to take a red shortcut to that job, and you could hit copy. And if it's a favorite, it's going to show up here first for you to copy, and that will bring this proposal into the new customer on the new job, and you can edit it on the fly if you need to, or if it's something that's going to be the same price, just leave it alone. Anything that is not listed as a favorite, if you unclick, it will show in here. And as these get more and more, they're out of sight, out of mind, you have the option to search by the customer name if you know it, or the location, however you need to find it. Okay, but don't be surprised when you log in here and favorites come up first and you're like, I don't see it. They're still there. They're just behind the favorites. Okay. Now, We talked about being able to apply from the invoice, or from the proposal. So on the proposal, when you offer it, they can continue to apply. Okay, they can do that from here. But maybe you want to get people approved before they come, or give them the option to see if they can get approved. So we have another option. This is going to be moved. Let me go over here. If you go to payment options and you go to classic, because they're getting rid of the classic view because that's how we started with payments. But if you go to the admin tab and then go down to other settings, oops, moved on me, other settings, you can click on the payment link and put it on your website so that they can make a payment from your website. If they forget, they lose the invoice, they can go to your website and make a payment, and also the financing link. So once you've chosen those 3 or 4 loans that you want to offer and mark them to self-service and put this link on your website, they can go to your website and apply and try to get financing. And this financing is specific to you. They can't take it and go to another HVAC or plumbing place. It is only for you and your company because it has your business ID in here, so that when they sign up, it's approved. It'll show on your financing dashboard. So let me go back over here. And your financing dashboard is where you monitor and work all those loans. Okay. Okay, so the financing dashboard is kind of a little ugly because this is the test, and Service Finance has been disabled for this. But you'll be able to see the application date, the customer's last name, the lender, the amount, the status, and you can refresh everything from here. If you click the plus, you'll be able to get some more information about this and monitor these. So they will get approved. These are all declined and because it's a test account, but they will get, it will say applied, it will say approved, and it'll go through the different statuses, and it'll say ready to pay, so that you can go in and request a payment once they have been approved and the work has been done. Okay. So the other place, this is where the loan calculator is. If you go to financing, so if you're in front of somebody and you want to just go ahead and see if they can get approved while you're there, you can go to financing. You can go to consumer loan application, this is the same link that, same place that link on your website will take them to. You can go into the amount to finance. And remember, they do have some minimums on the different vendors, so that financing usually has to be a larger repair, and they don't want to do like usually $300 or anything like that. It has to be a larger amount. Some of them are $1,250, $1,250. So it just depends on the vendor. Okay. And you can go in and choose your financing options. The ones that you have clicked in your loan setup will show here for you. So if I come into Synchrony, no interest if paid in full within 6 months. Okay. And then it will start the application. Okay. So they can do it from there. So if you have a tablet or a phone and you want to start from there, you can start from there as well. You can start from that link. You can start from the proposal. It's however you would like to do that. And if you put that link on your website, you can send them to your website. They can find out a little bit more about you and click the link there as well. Okay. The other thing about financing that is very interesting is, let's say you as a company needed a loan, or if you have a commercial account that you need to do work with, you have the option in here for commercial loan application. And that goes, I believe, through LendingTree. Okay. So if you start an application here, say you need a new truck, you can always come in here and apply. Or if you have a commercial customer, you can send them to here to get approved.